My name is Michael Stanizzo. I'm the head teacher of welfare at Warilla High School, but also an English teacher. Some of the subjects that students can study here at Warilla High School as part of the English courses include Advanced English, Standard English, English Fundamentals, Extension 1 English, Extension 2 English. At other schools, students who may not be following an ADA course of study can also do English life skills or English studies. Some of the courses that you can go on and do at university after studying English at school include journalism, media and communications, and obviously teaching. Some tips to help you get through your HSC year in English. Most importantly, know the syllabus. It's important you download the syllabus if your teacher has not provided a copy of it for you. You can get copies of the syllabus on the Board of Studies website. It's important that you look at the rubric for the area of study and belonging, but also for each of the modules that you might be studying. It is important that you have a good look at what is on the Board of Studies website. There is a Students Online section on the Board of Studies website which has some useful tips and strategies and resources that you can access. There's also Access Resource Centre on the Board of Studies website that also has sample papers and other resources that you can make use of. It is important, and probably the best advice I can give you, is to do as many past papers as you can in the lead up to the HSC. Do them under exam conditions at home and then bring them into school so your teacher can mark them for you and give you some feedback. Marking criteria is also on the Board of Studies website, so you can access that as well. When studying the area of study, belonging, it is important that you devote an equal amount of time to each of the different sections. A common mistake that students make is that they spend the majority of their time working on the third section, the area of study response, and they neglect to spend an equal amount of time on section 1, the reading and writing section of the exam, and also the creative writing part of the exam. Remember, each section is worth the same amount of marks, 15 marks each. So over the course of the year, devote an equal amount of time on each of those sections. With the reading and writing part of the exam, look at how many marks are being allocated for each question. If it is only a 1-mark question, okay, a sentence suffices as an answer. Obviously, questions that may be worth 4 or 5 marks will require you to go into a lot more detail and obviously using examples from the text to support your responses. When you receive the examination paper, read the questions first before you analyse the text. Doing it that way gives you ample opportunity, once you read the text and analyse the text, to look at what you're supposed to be searching for depending on what the question has asked you to answer. Interpret what the question is asking you to do. It is important that you check over your work once you complete each section of the exam. Use 5 minutes to go over each of your responses. Spelling, punctuation and grammar does count, no matter what anyone else does tell you. The creative writing part of the exam, it is important that you look at various text types. There may not always be a narrative that you're asked to write for the exam. You need to be familiar with all text types. Know how to write a speech, for instance. Know how to write a journal entry. Know how to compose a letter, etc. It is important that you use a variety of language techniques in whatever you decide to write in that creative writing part of the exam. You need to make your writing come to life. Be as descriptive as possible. And obviously the markers are looking for your understanding of belonging in that part of the exam. So it is important you have a definition in mind of what belonging means to you and you relate that in the creative writing part of the exam. For the third section, the area of study part of the exam, choose your related texts carefully. It is important that you spend an equal amount of time writing about your prescribed text as you do with your related text. You need to link both texts to one another. Use relevant examples from the text. If the question asks you for at least one related text, that gives you an opportunity to to write about more than one related text. That is what the markers are asking for. It is important that you structure your response carefully. If it is an essay, make sure that you start with an introduction where you outline how you are going to answer the question. Make sure you include your thesis or line of argument in that introduction. In the body of your response, make sure that you begin each paragraph with a topic sentence. Make sure you critically analyse the text throughout your response. Make sure you source each of your texts, your prescribed text and your related text. Obviously, also it is important that you include enough content. Okay, as a rough guide, I tell my students they should be aiming to at least complete 2 booklets for the area of study response in the HSC. And again, as I mentioned earlier, take some time at the end of the paper to read over your work, ensuring that you have answered the specified question. Your teachers are the best resource you have. Make use of them. Apart from the Board of Studies website, there are other avenues for you. Visit bookstores, see what's available there. Some excellent study guides that are out there. Have a look at them. Have a good look at them before you purchase any of them though. A lot of our students have used the university library. That's another fantastic resource, or your local library. And look at forming study groups as well with other students at your school or from other schools. In the past, students who have done well at our school have done that. Remember, you're not competing against one another. You need to work together. You're competing against thousands of other students across the state. All in all the best for the HSC. I hope some of the advice I've given you ends up being beneficial.